Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today I'm going to be giving an update based on request on NIO. I have done a previous DD on it. You find it in the description, so I would recommend you watch that one after you watch this. Right now I'm going to be going through technical analysis, and at the very end I have some new updates that I want to go over for this company. Now before we go ahead, please make sure you subscribe, you share, and you like this video if you at the very end. But to subscribe right now. So go on quickly, and we're going to get to see the NIO charts here. And we get to see here just off the bat is that the MACD has gone quite negative ever since the 17th, and I believe this one was the Goldman Sachs actual downgrade, and that kind of caused a reversal on it. And so what we're seeing here is this trend is still continuing on towards the negative part. Momentum, it seems that it has gone quite of a low momentum at this point. The William percent R seems to be at oversold, so that's a good news here. The average directional index is at 47.71, so it's not giving me much. It's basically being more sloppy right now. There's not a bit of volume, and the unbalanced volume seems to have decreased all the way back to what it was on the 2nd of July. But here's the good news. The stock is trading in the trading action zone, and you get to see the last time it did trade in the trading action zone, it did see a reversal, and so we are more likely to see perhaps a reversal in the trading action zone. The stock price is above the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA in the purple and the blue, so that's good news. 10 SMA is still above the 30 EMA, so there's still hope on this one here. Going into the 1 hour interval, what we get to see here is that the MACD is going positive, and it doesn't seem to have been decreasing. That reversal has seen at 11 a.m. On Friday, and it's actually not decreasing anytime soon. So what we might actually see is it might go a little bit further up on the green. The price is above the VWAP. It's still under the 200 SMA and barely touching the 50 SMA on the 1 hour interval. 30 EMA is above the 10 SMA, which is a bearish sign, but you get to see how the 10 SMA is curving up here in green and moving on towards the 30 EMA, and might actually cross. So once it crosses, that's a bullish sign. We might see something very similar to what happened here, where it jumps up quite a bit. Yep, so that's about it for here. Average directional index shows that there's actually an indication for perhaps a trend forming. It's not confirmed yet. The William percent R puts it in the after hours a little bit towards overbought, but that's understanding, especially since it had dropped to 1091 and increased $1. Momentum, it seems that it's actually building back momentum, so good growth here as we can see. Now moving on towards the moving averages, you get to see the stock is within the moving averages band, and that's not been there in a while. It's actually trading on the bottom half, so what I expect is perhaps it would increase up to the upper band, or just sustain that kind of moving average forward. So it probably would either hit up further or accumulate for a while. I don't see it drop beyond that moving average band. It hasn't dropped in quite a bit, so that would be very surprising for me. One thing I would really like to share here, I'll just share it in a second. Actually, I'm just going to share right now. Check the 3 months 1 day chart. What you get to see here is it almost looks like a triple bottom. So one here, one here, one here, but mainly it's a double bottom around there. Now we're going on towards trend line, and let's try to observe this quickly. It has not broken up that uptrend line, and if we try to draw a channel, I'm not sure how nicely this is going to work. It still has, well, it did break the upper channel for this quite a run, but it's still a good growth, and that was the long-term DD. It's also found in the description where I do talk about similar trends where this company is seeing a strong movement upwards. Now moving on towards the 1 hour now, and we're going to try to identify where the supports are sitting. 1 month, 1 hour. And we're going to do as well Fibonacci retracements. So Fibonacci retracements over here in the last month. And you get to see that the Fibonacci retracement support is at 1048. Above that is 1163. So the current support for Fibonacci is 1163. It is confirmed by traditional. And then you are sitting somewhere at a support right now, somewhere 1188 to 1195. 1184 to 1195. That seems to be the current support. The next resistance seems to be put around 1278 on the Fibonacci retracements, confirmed by traditional as well. It's around there, and then following that is around 1303. Following that is around 1315. You can see here, and then following that would probably be 1355. Moving forward, it would be around 1424 to 1441. Following that, 1494. 1579, 1614 and 1648. Now going on towards news. So first things first, well, they have released this PR here. It's for their SUV EC6 launch for pre-subsidiary price starting from 368,000 RMB, and I'll compare that to as well what's their competitor in people's views, Tesla's price. So this really does sound basically very similar to, I would say, the Model X in my opinion. Of course, that's just an opinion because Tesla does have different models, but that's kind of the iconic SUV that comes in mind. So what's the kind of different features it has? This one has a range up to 615. I did open up Model X around here. Yep. So it has 564 range. This one has let's double check, 615. So this one has a drag coefficient of 0.26. I'm not sure if they have added their drag coefficient. Their drag coefficient here. Could be under exterior. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna go on to that further. Haptics and fabric spell. Okay, that's not important for me. 0 to 100 and 4.5. That's not important for me, but let's just do it for the sake of comparison. I believe it was 4.6 on the Tesla. Tesla's site is a little bit sluggish right now for me. Okay, so 4.6, yep. And then we're moving on to 615. Well, we've already gone through that. Going on towards the price, 368,000. If we're going on to compare it here on Google today, that's around 52,000 US dollars compared to, I would say, well, what's the performance model? The performance model is a little bit faster. I'll compare it with the long range model because it's cheaper and still a little bit slower there. Somewhere around 112,000. I'm pretty sure that's Canadian, so it's probably around 190,000. Still almost double the price. So that's a comparison between that and Tesla. And the first orders, I believe, deliveries would be September 2020. So that's PR that's probably bound to happen. So that could be good PR for the company. We know that the market loves these kind of PRs. All right, moving forward. Institutional purchases. You get to see here on the 24th. You do have Gulf International Bank have bought around 160,000 shares. Janie here LLC has bought around 69,000 shares. Now you do have puts and calls here and there. This company did put both a call and a put at the same time, so I don't know what you're trying to do there. Something, I guess, the box theory or whatever. But moving on to Gulf, you get to see they're managing around quite a bit, $6 billion. So they have trust in this company. You get to see this one here, $15 billion. So it seems that institution is still interested in it. Of course, on the 23rd and 22nd, we did have some selling, but we start seeing this buy-ins again. So that might be a good trend there. Now, in my opinion, what I would want to see for this company, because I do want to get a long-term entry for it, I would like to see it accumulate for quite a bit. I'd like to see it hold its kind of without kind of that movements that we're looking at. Now, comparing it to Tesla, for instance, movement. Let's compare it here quickly. I do remember adding different comparisons, and I did add different comparisons between this and Tesla, but I think that kind of trend has broken. You get to see on the last day, it has gone quite, Tesla's gone down, NIO gone up a little. And that could be as well just because of the new PR. But the trend mainly has, this one here was the Goldman Sachs, so it's becoming in a little bit choppy between this and Tesla. Every now and then, if Tesla is rallying, this one you might find it as a sympathy play rallying. But what I want to see it is it trading independently from Tesla, and that's a good sign actually, because Tesla is quite a bit high, and there is a lot of different analysts, people in the market that are saying it's a little bit too high. You don't want Tesla to dip, and this one dips forward with it, because I do see it as a good competitor to Tesla based on the business model itself. I'm not talking about factories, I'm not talking about anything else, just based on paper. So I'd like to see it accumulate. If you are still holding it from the bottom, I would still consider holding it for a few days here as well. You get to see here that the double bottom is looking nice as well, but you do as well have a little bit of resistance that it seems to have hit 13.3. Level 2 would also help you to determine as well what the kind of interest and volumes on it. So once you see volume drop, it might be actually a dangerous sign. But for me, I would hold. I would consider buying it after accumulation if you're still considering buying. And I would definitely wait on it to see what happens on Monday. Make sure you share, subscribe, and like this video. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Have a wonderful day.